What's good, y'all? Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. It's Turbo King back with another video. And as y'all can see by the title, I'm gonna be talking about just life in general. You know, everything is meaningless. I was reading Ecclesiastes a couple of days ago, and it gave me some good insight. You know, reading the Bible, it helps you it just gives you a peace of mind, clarity, and all type of stuff. You know, so it's definitely like basic instructions before leaving Earth, pretty much. But when I was reading it, it just gave me a lot of revelations in life. You know, everything is meaningless. There's really no point of anything. Well, first, is always a time and a place for everything. I'll say that first because that's one of the first things it says in Ecclesiastes. So realize there's a time and place for everything, and there's a season for everything. Like I said before, it's gonna be seasons in your life, good and the bad, the ups and the downs, the yin and the yang. It's all about a balance, you know. And understand that good and bad is necessary. Bad is necessary as well, because if there wasn't for the bad, you wouldn't know what good is. You know, if it wasn't for the trials and tribulations in your life, you wouldn't be able to know the blessings and the joy that's going to bring into your life. You wouldn't be able to understand it if you didn't have the other side. So balance is always key. You know, there's going to be a time for you to be for hatred. There's going to be a time for you to be loving. There's going to be time for you to give, and there's also going to be a time for you to receive. There's going to be time for rain, and there's going to be time for sun. You know what I'm saying? So it's a time and a place for everything. You know, everything happens for a reason. Everything has its own divine timing and divine purpose. So you may be going through seasons in life to where you feel like things can never change, but realize that things can always change. Change is necessary, and change is inevitable. So it's bound to happen for things to change. You know, don't think that bad is always going to happen and nothing's going to change, or don't think good is always going to happen and nothing's going to change. It's all seasonal, you know. And the nucleus of this video is just about things being meaningless, you know, because we all share the same fate. You know, you can be the most righteous person in this world, and you could be standing next to someone who is very evil. But at the end of the day, y'all both gonna share the same fate. Y'all both gonna be 6 feet deep in that casket. You know what I'm saying? So everything is pretty much pointless, bro. Especially like living on Earth. First of all, like it's not too much it's not really too much for us to do here. Just being honest with you. Go to work, travel, eat. You know, just the same thing over and over again. The same thing that you're doing right now is somebody way in a whole different country probably doing the same thing you're doing right now. You at work, it's somebody at work right now at the same time doing the same thing. Nothing is new under the sun. So nothing is different in life. You're going to do the same thing that everybody else is doing. It's all a matrix. It's all a simulation. Everything is the same, you know. But just all in all, just enjoy your life, you know. Whatever you eat, whatever you drink, whatever you do, just enjoy it. Because, like I said, we all have the same fate. We all are going to go through trials and tribulations, ups and downs, things that we don't like, things that we do like. So there's no point of harping over the bad. There's no point of even harping over the good. Just live a righteous life as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? And with life comes wisdom. With knowledge comes wisdom. Experience. Experiences, I would say experience is the best teacher. People like to say that, you know, they can learn from other people's mistakes. But most of the time, we're human beings. We have to learn from our own mistakes. You can see somebody, because I see it all the time. People be like, oh, I learn from other people's mistakes. But in reality, that's not true, gang. I'm going to just keep it real. Like, and I realize too, people like to put on a mask in front of everybody else. People don't really be telling the truth. You feel me? Like, if everybody's in a crowd they all have to agree. But in reality, when they go back home, it's going to be a different story. You know what I'm saying? That's just like saying, and I'm just making up a random scenario. If you go, I'm just saying, like I said, I always like to bring up relationships. I'm gonna just keep it real, gang. Like, every dude, they say if they girl cheat on them, they're gonna automatically leave. But gang, that's not true. They're gonna say that in public, but in real life, a lot of their girls be cheating, gang, and they don't never leave. Just keep it real, bro. Like, your girl, people think that, especially like men, they think that their woman is just so perfect, bro. Like, no relationship is perfect, but that's just a small example of people going out into the public and making it seem like they don't do what they really do in closed doors. Like, most people they don't want to tell the truth. Nobody want to tell the truth. Everybody want to put on this image, put on this front. It's all a joke. It's all a gimmick, gang. So when you realize that wisdom and experience is the best teacher, it's gonna help you, bro. And what he was saying was, once he experienced, like, Solomon, he wrote the Ecclesiastes, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, once he experienced things, he realized it was pointless. You know, he tried to enjoy pleasure. You know, the things, the fruitful things and the great things of this life, right? So that's just like people today, you know, they want to experience the better things in life. They think that going on trips, traveling, you know, getting the best cars, the best clothes, the jewelry, the big houses, you know, they wanna live a lavish life, and then at the end of the day, they realize that it is pointless. It's all meaningless. It doesn't fulfill you. You know, nothing of this world fulfills you. You know, gives you that joy that you were looking for. And then he went to something else. You know, he wanted to enjoy food. He wanted to enjoy other things. And then once he got to that end point, he realized that was meaningless as well. You know, he was, and I'm just skimming over it, but he realized that, you know, everything that he tried to do to fulfill himself, to give himself this type of satisfaction, he realized that nothing in this life came to fulfill him, came to give him peace. You know what I'm saying? And understand that nothing in this world is gonna bring you peace, gang. Just keeping it real. We live in a simulation. Nothing is real. You know, we just puppets at the end of the day. You know, being controlled. I'm being controlled by God, bro, and I don't have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not my life, it's His life. So He created me. And one thing I did realize was, don't question the Creator, bro. Like, don't question. How can you question something that made you? That's like, and how can you know something that made you? That's just like your kid, right? Your kid, you can know everything about your kid because you was there from the time that they were born. But your kid cannot know everything about you. They wasn't there when you, the 20 years, the 30 years that you were born. You know what I'm saying? So how can your kid tell you something about you? You can tell them something about them because you created them. So it's the same thing with God. How can I tell Him what to do? How can I tell Him this is right, that is not right, when He's the creator? He's the creator of all. How can I question it, bro? So I just gotta let it happen. You know, everything happens for a reason. Everything is in this divine timing. So I just gotta keep praying, keep a relationship with Him. You know, don't be over religious or don't be over righteous. Keeping my head up, you know, just going through the trials and tribulations, bro. Everything's designed for a reason. But I know it's a lot of people that's watching this. You know, they might have some type of depression. They might be going through things. Realize, man, it's people in this world that's going through way worse than you are. So just be grateful. You know, I'm in a season right now where I'm not doing the best I can in my life right now, but I see a great future ahead of me. You know, things are gonna get brighter. But just enjoy the times that you in right now. You know, I like to try to enjoy the things that I'm going through right now, because it's gonna give me something to be grateful for. When I look back, I'm gonna be like, dang, you know what? I appreciated those times. I appreciated when I didn't have it. I appreciated when I was going through it, because it helped me build character. It helped me become a better man. So just enjoy those times, bro. Like that's what I learned. And this year, 2025, has been definitely a great year for me, because it gives me a lot. This year gave me a lot of wisdom. So the light in hard times, because at the end of the tunnel, it's always the light. Darkness always comes before the light. You know, darkness always comes before the light. So I began to realize when something as bad is happening, I know it's for a reason. Something good has to happen after that. It's all about the yin and the yang. Life always has to balance itself out. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure y'all stay prayed up, stay focused, stay disciplined, build your relationship with God. You know, talk to him. Like he's your father, gang. Like, talk to him like you would talk to a normal human being. You know, he knows your thoughts, he knows your heart, he knows everything about you. So just build a relationship with him. Like, most people don't even have a relationship with God. They really think they do, but they really don't. Talk to him. Go on a date with him. Work out with him. You know, just build a relationship. It's a relationship before anything. Because you don't want to hear those words where they say, Father, Father, haven't I done mighty works in your name? And he say, depart from me, because I never knew you. So I don't want to hear those words, gang. And I ain't gonna hear those words, because I know my Father know me and I know him. So this is the end of the video, y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Make sure y'all stay prayed up. I hope these words are encouraging to some, encouraging to many, encouraging to all. But just keep y'all head up and keep pushing, you know. But just remember, everything is meaningless, so enjoy the life that you can live. Enjoy the life that you have, you know. Because at the end of the day, we all have the same fate. So I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out. Peace.